Hi everybody and welcome to the Open eCry midweek market commentary for the 19th of June. My name's Simon Clark from Trade with Precision and I'll be discussing the markets that are of key interest right now. Now the first market I'm going to take a look at here is cable. This is Great British Pound against the US dollar. And if we take a look here at the monthly chart and just work through the time frames, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So here on the monthly chart we can see that price action pretty much on the monthly chart has been in a range bound for some time, but we have formed support and resistance around this level here. This level is 1.5300 and you can see how strong this level is. Now most recently price has come down. We've tried to decisively break underneath this level and now the market's rejected it. So we've got a nice rejection candle here and then price has moved up above this level now. Now at this moment in time I'm not looking for a big move to the high side on the monthly chart, but what I'm looking for is a move higher on some of these lower time frames. So if I come down here to the weekly chart, we can see this price action in a bit more detail. So we can see the move down, we can see the break underneath this 1.5300 level, and since we've done that we've now made a high, a new higher low, and now a higher high, and we can see that we've got nice convergence here on the indicators agreeing with this move back up to the high side. Now here on the weekly chart we've also, if I open this up, we've also got another level that's formed in the midway point between these two levels. So we've got 1.5800 and you can see this level's been tested numerous times through here. So this level looks like the next sort of level where price is going to test before making a decision as to where it's going to go from there. It may well turn around from there. We may well, if we get a decisive break through this level, then we could see 1.6300 back on the cards. But certainly at the moment I'm looking for a move up to test this 1.5800 level. So if we come down now to the daily chart, we can start to see how this price action looks. So we've moved from this downtrend, we've now moved back up into this nice decisive uptrend. We've got some nice convergence here on the indicators. Our moving averages just starting to fan now in the right area. Now when we start to look at these lower time frames, and we can see that there's another level formed in here. Now this is much more apparent on sort of the 480 chart and the 240 chart, but this level's 1.5600. There's been resistance here which price has tested numerous times. Price has come back up, it's retested it again here, and now it's finding support at this level now. So now price has pulled back, it's retested this 15600 level with nice small green bullish candle at the moment, moving and bouncing off this 156 level. So what I'm looking at is down here on these lower time frames. Now this one is the 240 chart. We can see the 156 level here. We can see how price has respected around this level, how we've come back and retested it, and now we're starting to get some buying action back into the markets again. So indicators starting to sort of roll round, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this price to turn around, to continue to make new highs. This is the 15800 level just up here, and I'm looking for trading opportunities for price moving back up and testing this level up here, this 15800 level. So that's the opportunities there that I'm seeing on Great British Pound. Now the next market I'm looking at here today is the YM contract. This is the mini Dow futures contract. In fact, I'm looking at all of the US indices at the moment, and what I'm looking at here is the strength of this trend. Price on the lower time frames has actually had a pullback, and I'm looking for this trend to continue. So I'm looking for confirmation that this trend is continuing, and looking for new trading opportunities to the high side. Now we have got quite a bit of news out over the next few days with the US indices, so I need to keep an eye on the news when you're trading around these markets. So if we take a look here at the monthly chart, we can see the strength of this trend. Very, very powerful. All the moving averages in the right order, lovely convergence on the indicators, very nice chart and very powerful trend. The same here goes for the weekly chart, and what we've got here on the weekly is that price has now had this pullback. It's pulled back into the buy zone, into the moving averages, and now this week we now had a break above the high of last week's low candle, and looking like we're making a new push back up to the high side to at least test the previous highs here. Coming down to the daily chart, we can see the extent of this sort of pullback. We've pulled back, beyond the buy zone here, and now sort of turned around. So we've now made a slightly higher low there, and price now broken up to make a higher gain. Indicators starting to turn around now, so the RSI has started to turn around and converge. MACD just starting to turn around now. So looking down here on these lower time frames, this is where I'm sort of keeping a close eye. So back down here on the sort of 240 chart and on the 480 chart, looking for this, this turnaround of the trend. As we can see, we've now got this higher low here, now consistent higher lows and higher highs in price, moving averages all turning round now and fanning in the right order, and very strong convergence on the indicators too. So we've got a level here that price is just sort of coming up, and it's just sort of tested this sort of level. It's not particularly strong. We've got a couple of tests here at the moment on the 4-hour chart, and it's been tested a few times here, as you can see, in the past. So it's been support and resistance, to some degree here in the past. But I'm just looking for, price to sort of consolidate around this area, and looking to see if we can get a little break above this area, maybe sort of trend flow opportunities on these time frames, looking to trade back up to the high side, certainly back up to these old highs, see if we can get a test up to these old highs again. Now the last market I'm taking a look at here today is the CAD Swiss market. So this is the forex pair CAD Swiss, Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc, and what I'm quite interested here is the 9,000 level, which price has tested numerous times and traded around, and we're quite close to that 9,000 level at the moment. So let me just talk through the time frames and show you what I'm looking at. If we take a look here at the monthly chart, you can see how sort of price action has been over the past sort of few years. We've come down, we've sort of tested this 9,000 level a few times here, rejected off it. It's had a big push through it, here back down and tested 7,000, back over above it again. We've bounced across this a number of times, and now we're back down testing it again. At the same time as we're testing it here, we've got the MACD fairly flat, but the RSI is already sort of diverging here. The RSI is already leading, pointing to a weakness in this market, so possibly a continuation down. Taking a look here at the weekly chart, we can just see this price action in a bit more detail. If I sort of open this up a bit, you can see a bit more. So we can see how price has been in a sort of steady trend down to the downside. We're testing this 9,000 level, some nice sort of fairly small candles here, and the indicators again looking very bearish at this moment. So this level has certainly found, price has certainly found support around this level in the past, and at some point what I'm looking for to see if price can break this level decisively, then we could be on a move right the way back down to sort of test these old lows. I mean, there's nothing in the way. If we do get a nice decisive break of this 9,000 level, there's pretty much nothing in the way for price to come back down to test these old lows. So if we come down and take a look at these lower time frames, you can start to see the price action in a bit more detail. So I've marked in the 9,000 level here. You can see decisive move to the downside, been in a nice downtrend here, moving averages all in the right order, and we've got some lovely convergence here on the indicators too. At the moment we've had a bit of a pullback, so we pushed right underneath that level, pulled back into the sell zone, and now we're just sort of compressing up against that level. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen here. This level's either going to hold again for another period, or we're going to get a break underneath it. Now the clue's going to be if we start to take a look at these lower time frames. This is the 240 chart. We've got the 9,000 level here, and we can see how we've consistently made lower highs in price. Now price has come down. We've had some small candles here. We're quite overextended from the moving averages when we came down and tested this 9,000 level on the last leg. Now pulled back into the moving averages, into the sell zone. We've got them all fanning in the right order now, and we've also got some nice convergence here on this sort of recent part of the trend on the MACD and the RSI. So at this moment in time, I'm keeping a close eye to see what happens here. Maybe we get a push down. We're either going to get a rejection and price is going to rally back up, and in which case, we may well get a move up to this sort of 9,400 level, which is the support and resistance level above this area. Or if we get a break underneath the 9,000 level, then I'll be looking for shorting opportunities to trade this market to the downside. So certainly one to keep on your watch list there. So then it concludes the midweek market outlook and potential trading opportunities to look out for. I'd like to thank you for watching the Open Equry midweek market commentary, and we look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.